Okay, hello. That was just over my entire face. Okay, camera's kind of all right. I can see you, you can see me. My lighting's terrible, but who cares? Hello, good morning. It is still morning, just after 11. And I already have Sebastian and Laurie here. How's it, guys? Uh, how's your Friday night treated you? How was your Saturday morning? And I had some super important topics to talk about. Let me put this thing on silent. By the way, old school gun servant mug I found in my cupboard. I had a couple of these made, or someone had them made for me, I think, with the old gun servant logo. That was before Piratas became Piratas. That's what it was. It was a very amateuristic little thing. But I managed to make mugs out of it. And then we transitioned to the new brand and stuff. How's it, Ice and Graham? Also, can all of you please become YouTube boomers? Because I would like to get my channel to like 1,000 subscribers. Because Jeremy's got like 7,000 and Ramon's got 9,000, and I've got a way bigger Facebook presence than they do. This is my dick measuring contest with my friends. But on YouTube, I'm like non-existent, like nothing. So if any of you could just, you can still watch me on Facebook. I'll still stream here, but it's always simultaneous with YouTube. So if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'd super appreciate it. Hello, Bernard and Andre, and I see all the usual suspects here. Hello, Graham. I see you on now on YouTube as well. So Graham is now totally schizo. He's on both. That's fantastic. I love the way you work. So I was brainstorming a little bit last night, and the wine shirt thing is still happening. Well, it was never not going to happen. It's just taking longer than I thought because, strangely enough, I'm not the only guy that's dealing with this particular company, and they're trying to get orders out to as many people as possible. And so hopefully by next week, a little bit of finality on that. So if you want one of those Aloha shirts, we'll be able to start organizing it hopefully soon. It's not keeping me awake at night, but close. But in the meantime, like, people have asked me to do other stuff as well. So baseball caps, I really want to do. I'm just anal retentive about it. I want it to be the kind of baseball cap I would be proud of wearing. So I need to get the design right. I need it to be. I was thinking of having maybe the Piratas put over the front, and then have the logo, the little trigger logo, just on the side at the back or something. But I mean, I'm open to ideas from the audience, and I'll try to make something that looks really cool. And mugs. I'm probably going to use Jeremy Nell's mug guy that makes mugs for germ warfare. I was thinking of having like a charcoal dark mug on the outside with orange, the Piratas orange on the inside, and then the logo on the front, something like that. Obviously, also try to keep the stuff cost effective, because I would obviously want to sell as much of the stuff as is humanly possible, but at the same time not break the bank for people, because guess what? We're in an economic apocalypse. People don't have money for swag and nonsense. So unless it's a relatively good quality product and it's not retardedly priced, I'm not going to sell anything to you. Even as much as you like the channel, you're not going to want to buy it. So Paul asked me what's really in the mug. What's really in the mug? I would have had Rion Kutsia on here this morning to chat to you guys about his coffee, because he's one of the guys behind the Boeretrius brand, which is what I normally drink. But since I couldn't get any of his coffee for so long, I'm down to just like grinding beans that I make, that I bought at Woolies. I know, like, that's very bourgeoisie of me, but grind those beans, put them in a plunger, and this is just coffee. But from Monday, when we can start buying liquor again, it may be more than just coffee in the mug next time you see me. So we're hoping for that. If I started a channel on RedTube, this is an honest question to all 42 of you who are watching me. As the economy has opened up and people aren't captive audiences anymore, my viewer figures just nosedive. But if I opened a YouTube or Pornhub channels, how many of you guys would subscribe to that? Because InRange TV has a Pornhub channel, which is freaking hilarious. They make content specifically for that channel that they title appropriately, and it's hilarious. Sebastian, this is the best compliment I've ever gotten in my life. I know we're moerse unlikable. Hello Ilana, baie dankie. And Dewald, hoe gaan dit? And Mr. van Rensburg, my booze order is in with Takeout, so party time on Wednesday. So it's not Pooza Thursday. We're going back to Klein Saterdag then, officially from next week. You didn't want to support them, but I heard it to grandpa. Blah. There is I ordered through an online outlet. I ordered 2 bottles of whiskey. It wasn't Take-A-Lot. I will actually find out what it was, and then I'll get back to you and give you some consumer information. Sonia Net, I missed the streams in the week. Back to school. I know. I'll. You know what? I'll do more streams on the weekend. So I need to speak to Rian Kutsia next week about his coffee, because we want to go into a bit of a coffee partnership where you can buy his coffee via Paratus or vice versa. You know, it's a thing that we haven't ironed the kinks out of yet, but we'll get that going. Then I'm speaking to Jeremy and Ramon tomorrow. We're just talking shit on one of their channels, but I'll post the link, so you guys are welcome to pile in there. Then I want to speak to Brian about policing as well in the coming week, and Piaki Dlamini about black libertarians and what do you call ourselves, freedom extremists. So yeah, I've got quite a lot of stuff lined up, and I still have reviews to write and stuff to do, but I like these streams just with you guys. I don't know what you prefer. It's nice just interacting with people who read my stuff and not be too serious about it. Actually, to be honest, and don't tell them, but I enjoy talking to you more than I enjoy talking to them. But don't let them know, otherwise they might kick me off their show. Bernard, I can't stop thinking about this dream I have. There is a place in all our earths that is a sanctuary for freedom and firearms. We need to find a place in real world for this and go there, or we have to try and make it. And I had I won't call it a punch up, because it's not a punch up, but with the whole Colin Scorza thing, and because I'm so vocal about it on Twitter, I obviously get a lot more black people following me on Twitter. And a lot of black women are obviously huge victims of gender-based violence in their communities. So they don't really have a very positive connotation to firearms, because they just see it as another thing that's going to kill them. And I'm trying to bring them around to seeing it from another angle. That's like, a gun can protect life as much as it can take it. In fact, it's a wonderful device for you, as someone who may not be as physically strong or resilient as a man, to protect yourself from a violent man or from violence perpetrated by men on you. And I don't know if that's quite, penetrating through the narrative, but you got to try, and you have to keep hammering that home. So that's the one thing I've been busy with on my Saturday morning. Facebook is terrible. They did ban Germ. In fact, here's an interesting story about Facebook. So when Gosa started selling those little blue bullets to raise money, Facebook cottoned onto that, and they actually came and they contacted the Gosa Exco, and they pulled us into like a 3-hour like Microsoft Teams conference, where they had people in California and the Philippines and everywhere else talking to us, trying to figure out what we're about. And they've subsequently decided that we're good people, and that they like what Gosa is doing, and they like the way we moderate the group and what our approach to firearm ownership is. So they will now not just ban Gosa's Facebook group. They don't like Paratus as much, I don't think. I never brought it up with them, but I might use that channel to start talking to them and say, why are you censoring my shit sometimes, guys? What's up with that? Like, seriously, like, is the stuff I put on the internet really so much worse? And that's what's on Gosa or Gunsight on like the average weekday. So the thing is, you can't ever get a hold of these people when you've got a problem, but sometimes they find you, and maybe it's time for me to find them. Hello to you. It's good seeing you and Ari, who can't wait for the shirts. I'm childlike excited. I bought my Hawaiian shirt as a joke. Now it's become a thing, because I was trying to be all edgy and ironic, and now I'm like, cool, people want the stuff. I really want one. It needs to look freaking cool though, because I don't want to see people out there walking in shitty Hawaiian shirts with my branding on it. It has to be something I'd like to wear. and that's just the long and short of it. Graham had to drop a boomer comment on Bookface before coming to, of course. Badge on mine. Andre, which badge? You're gonna have to. Oh, badge on your on the cap. Do you want a little piece of? Just verduidelik het gou vir my. I'm slow. I've only had 3 cups of coffee this morning. As long as everything is made in SA and not in China, dude, that is one of my things right now as well. Is I want this to be locally manufactured. The textiles won't be coming from China, as far as I'm aware. It'll be sewn and physically made here, as far as I can tell. No Chinese stuff on my merchandise. So my merchandise isn't going to be Chinese. Screw that. It's not going to work. Not after everything else that's been going on. I'm already behind on the comments. Let me just scroll through. It's very capitalistic of me, Andre. I know. Pornhub is better than RedTube. I agree. So if I do start a channel on that side of the web, I'll start a Pornhub channel. Most certainly. I will get Brian on. Don't worry. We're going to have a mood of a cool chat. Okay, so I need to speak to Sishley, get a hold of him, because he uploaded the wrong live stream between myself and Unati on Chai FM. So actually, can I ask you a favor? Go dogpile Sishley a little bit and say to him, where is the live stream with Piratus and Unati? Come on, like, give us what we want. I mean, you're not going to get a hold of him today until like after Shabbat is over, but he'll read your messages when he switches his phone on. I'm a capitalist anarchist. What's it? Anarcho-capitalist? Is that the right phrase? Hello, Anton. Nice seeing you here. It was awesome having a stream with you yesterday. And if anyone missed it, we had a more of a fun chat about echo chambers, groupthink, all this sort of stuff. It wasn't a high-level academic discussion. It's something that I actually enjoyed. And we bashed government a bit, and it was just fun. So please, the link is on the page. Go check it out. It was a fun chat. Beth, my other favorite freedom extremist. And yeah, Mpiaki was off the map a bit. He upset the Facebook Gestapo, and I think they pulled his account for 30 days, and then he came back as an anonymous one that I didn't know it was him initially, but he's doing excellent work, and the guy is like epic. I have so much time for him. What's it? Marula Media Advertiser Coffee. I have to try it then. Yeah, no, definitely get the Boeretroos coffee. It's excellent stuff. I love drinking it. It's one of my favorite blends. And Rian is good people. You could really support the guy. Close friend. Obviously, I'm biased because he's a close personal friend, but I really like his stuff. Gideon is already the 3rd cool pilot I know that's cool. We try sometimes. We're not all sky gods, guys. Like, we're not all. There's that horrible joke about what's the difference between God and a pilot, and it's that God doesn't think he's a pilot. So, here we go. Callan, thoughts on the Minneapolis chaos? Listen, that's a total shitstorm, and two parts on that. The part that really annoys me is the huge focus the South African media places on that versus, the Collins Causa incident, which they just kind of run the odd report on, but it's not this constant narrative of hashtag Black Lives Matter. It's like, guys, why are we worried about hashtag Black Lives Matter in America, which is thousands of kilometers away? It's a completely different society. There's no meaningful impact on us and we're ignoring the tyranny and oppression right under our own noses. I don't get this disparity. We can condemn that for being the evil thing it is, and at the same time, we can be upset about the evil stuff happening here. It's not a zero-sum game. At the same time, if the government's jackbooted thugs murder someone in Minneapolis, go burn the government's jackbooted thugs police station down and stick it to the man. That's good. Do that. Don't go burn your brother's house and his business down. And that's what they've been doing. So the moment a mob, let's put this, the moment a concentrated effort against an aggressor turns into a foaming at the mouth mob that just loots and destroys, then it's lost all meaning. I mean, you are not avenging the death of someone by looting Target or the liquor store. You just aren't. There's a major difference between violent criminality versus legitimate protest action. And this is unfortunately something that the Yanks just can't ever seem to get right. They just can't seem to just separate, what's legit from bullshit when it comes to burning stuff down. South Africans are a lot more patient, clearly, because we just absorb the beatings we get without getting angry. And that's something that's actually surprised me. I would have expected a lot more stuff to burn in this country by now, and we just don't. We seem to just be chilling, which I don't quite know how I feel about that. What's it? I imagine people are going to be clapped next week harder, more frequent by fellow citizens for beer than the police did. Sebastian, just giving some context. You work for 2 large airlines, dealt with many. Which ones did you work for, Sebas? You are in the Middle East. Did you also work for the germs by any chance? The Krauts? Because then I can understand your pain, bro. Like, seriously. Justice for Collins. Brian, everyone wants you on the stream next week. Let me know what day suits you, because I'll work around your time frame, and we still need to find which shooting ranges are open. Because if I don't go shoot at something, not people, guys, for fuck's sakes. I always have to clarify this on my streams, because just now the Gestapo comes for me. I want to shoot at paper targets. If I don't get to go shoot my guns at something next week, I'm actually going to suffer some sort of withdrawal. So, whichever shooting ranges around the Cape are open, I'm going to try get there. I mean, on the one part, I need to maintain proficiency, and it's a training-related exercise, blah, 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 blah. So it's legit, right? It is totally legit. The only thing that stops rape quicker than saying I have a gun is warm lead. Graham, you understand exactly. We could put that on a bumper sticker. And justice for all, exactly. CEO tip-off, Trump is going to fuck up social media with their censorship. You know what the thing is? There's been a lot of talk about how the Donald is unfairly treating Twitter and whatever. So, especially from libertarian circles. So I'm a bit of a libertarian, but I'm much more of an anarchist. The thing is, sure, I get the whole private property argument that Twitter belongs to its owners, and they've got the right to admission, and they've got the right to censor whomever they want, and war a fish pace. Cool, I get that. But let's also not be disingenuous and admit that they've got a huge monopoly on that platform, and that they have the power, and they can abuse the power to sculpt a narrative in any direction they want with zero recourse, and that it has real and meaningful consequences because there's no competing platform. So if you hold a monopoly on something like this, and you start censoring people, and you go, well, I can censor you, it's private property, fit in or fuck off, that's abusing monopoly powers and privileges right there. Now, I don't agree that government should regulate Twitter, because government shouldn't be regulating anything. Government doesn't have the right to regulate. But in my world, I see 2 bad guys. One bad guy is Twitter. The other bad guy, call it the bad guy for the sake of the argument, is the Donald. And if he smacks Twitter down for being a bunch of censoring assholes, then boom, smack him down. I'm not going to cry tears about that. Like, they brought it upon themselves, and let them cry blood. Goeiemorgen, Charles. Great seeing you here talking rubbish with me again. Sorry that you made Facebook hate Barata. So this is a bit of background. So Brian posted COVID stats from like legit portals. So he is posting official COVID-19 statistics with a bit of clarifying interpretation on it. Nothing radical. Brian quite literally did nothing radical. In fact, he was behaving far more responsibly than the vast majority of epidemiologists, which in my opinion, unqualified, are pseudoscientists. They're not, they're more pseudoscientific than economists. So, Brian just gave the numbers, and Facebook hated this. And then they're like, fuck you for pushing an alternative narrative. We're going to give you a soft ban for a week. And that's why no one saw us on their feed, which is, again, quick reminder, please migrate across to my YouTube channel and join that one as well. All you Facebook commentators, please just hit the subscribe. You never have to go into my YouTube channel ever again. I will still stream on Facebook, but please just go and subscribe. I want to get those numbers up so I can at least also be part of the cool kids club along with Ramon and Germ with their thousands upon thousands of subscribers, right? Because that's the new penis measuring contest. Okay, and I keep falling behind on comments. So I'm so far behind. I will catch up. I promise. Blah de blah. Bernard, obviously we have to make our freedom place. But yeah, we look, it would be great if South Africa had a whole bunch of provinces that just seceded, wouldn't it? And we can be like Yugoslavia, hopefully without the bloodshed. Steve, will the shirts have hidden mag pouches? Not this run, because I'm still feeling my way through this, but if there's enough demand and if people really like the stuff, then sure, we can start going a bit 511 tactical on them and start incorporating stuff like that. But right now, my main priority is just to focus on getting a halfway competent, stylish, and decent quality themed Hawaiian shirt out there. Aloha shirt. Sorry, that's the official term. Also, it's called an aloha shirt, not a Hawaiian. Who cares? I'm not from Hawaii. But I just want to get that out without messing it up completely. So I will start doing cooler stuff with it. But let me just first see if this even works. Golf status is still not known. Dude, even the airline status isn't unknown. No one seems to know how this is working. Laurie is bullying me before I even got behind on the comments. She was already telling me I am. What's this? Quibi Nell. I always ask Facebook who their community is when they block me or a post. 90% of the time they okay, I'll try that in future. But previously, that when I appealed them blocking me, they just said due to COVID-19, they don't have enough people to review all the appeals. So I was just stuck in limbo forever because of a virus. Go figure. You said fuck twice. I did. I don't count anymore. I've got such a potty mouth. That's why I say people are allowed to swear in my comment sections. They're allowed to swear on my channel. Just it's only the racist stuff I delete, guys. But if you want to swear, if you want to my masa or yo masa or whatever, your masa course, you can do that. I'm not head boy. I'm not a prefect. I don't care. Like you guys can do whatever you want. Well, you can almost do whatever you want. Like just don't be too much of an arsehole and don't personally attack other people, even if they say stupid shit. This is the one thing for me. I get a lot of obnoxious commentators that call me stuff, but I'm not going to delete their comments. I'm not going to censor them because that just seems like a petty thing to do. And I mean, there's so many of you who get on their case anyway. And then Barry, my other guest, said, fuck, when we were swearing on your stream. Sorry, Anton. Sorry. Well, we were swearing on Anton's very, very, very professional stream. And he couldn't stop it. Oops. I'll remember that for next time. What is the difference between a condom and a cockpit? Sebastian, I don't even want to know. You're going to tell us? You probably have as I'm scrolling. We should maybe start burning sap stations. It's going to be a competition between you and Brian to see who does that first, because I've got complete violent anarchists following me, and I love it. I think it's awesome. Love this comment from Andre. Minneapolis, the truth will come out. I'm eating my popcorn and seeing how it plays out. Burning and looting the whole city down is not the answer. Nope. I did not know that the George had shares in Target, but that would not surprise me. I know how I fucking feel about the murder of Collins. Exactly. I think we all know how we feel about it. Ahmed, great seeing my only Algerian subscriber back in the feed. How are you doing, sir? Good to see you here again. Sean Murphy, the problem with these riots in the US is that as soon as people like Antifa gets involved, then the violence becomes generalized. Those idiots just want to destroy everything because they are fascists, just fascists. You did that. Boom. I'm not going to put what Brian just said on the on the feed. I'm not like, it's not like my channel's monetized, but yeah, Twitter is cancer. It is. And there's no amount of chemo or radiation therapy to cure it, unfortunately. But then Trump should tackle them via antitrust laws. I agree. That would be the right way of doing it, wouldn't it? Of course. Hi, Gideon. Did you used to work at Federal Air? My brother Paul worked for them back in the day, and I can vaguely recall the name. Ja, ek het. I was indeed at Fed Air in 2000 and yo, 6. Yeah, 2006 and 2007 for a bit. Paul Leroux, he was on the Pilatus PC-12, I think, and then he went to Sax, and now he's in the Middle East. Is dit die man, Koos? Stuur vir hom groete asseblief. And epic. Okay, like it is such a small bloody world. If there was any true outrage, and army bases would be burnt down. That's not the Collins Causa thing, and that's exactly it. There is no outrage about Collins Causa NSA. There's just hand wringing, and I mean, we do memes and whatever to try and keep it in the public consciousness, but there's no real meaningful pushback. His family and their legal team are dogged, though, and they are not taking any prisoners. And that's the one thing that makes me happy is the fact that, they are hopefully taking the Minister of Defense and then the entire SNDF leadership to the cleaners with this. I hope they are. And I don't think the court is going to be particularly impressed with the way the SNDF has just investigated themselves, cleared themselves, and are trying to, sweep it all under the carpet. That's not going to happen. And if the media allows it to happen, if the media doesn't actually take an investigative journalism point on this, which they haven't thus far, they've just been useless, then the media is complicit in it, unfortunately. Censorship is done less by the government, but more than private institutions. We've corporatized censorship now. We've taken public sector censorship and we've just put a private sector spin on it. And it's, guess what, more effective. Why don't we just, here's the thing, the entire United Nations should be defunded. It's a body that serves no purpose except to enrich its bureaucrats, enrich the connected individuals who gets the contracts and the tenders from it. It's a sick organization. There's nothing that can be achieved via the UN that is not better achieved through direct diplomacy anyway. It is a sick little hive of scum and villainy, and the entire United Nations should be shut down. It's an obsolete relic from the Cold War, and it should be fucking taken behind the shed and have bullets put into its head and be put down. That's what should happen to the United Nations. I also use DuckDuckGo as a search engine, Steve, actually. I struggle with it a bit. It's not as user-friendly, and it's not good. Its algorithms aren't good at understanding like plain language. So you have to, it's very much more like a keyword search engine than a phrase search engine. And it frustrated me hugely in the beginning, and to a degree it still does, because it just isn't as intuitive as Google. But you can still get really good results out of it if you use it correctly, so to speak. And at least it doesn't trace you, it doesn't track you, and it doesn't do stuff that Google does, which is like steal your personal information. Ahmed, Trump is no saint, but his fall is bad than the rest. I'm so happy he left the average. I think so many ordinary people are happy that these little alphabet soup UN agencies are just getting it stuck to them. It's wonderful. Soldiers would be facing mob justice in the township. Yeah, in an ideal society. Sorry, just scrolling down, trying to catch up. Subscribe on YouTube for the YouTube. Subscribe on YT for the YT. Why does it sound like a dirty phrase, Brian? You're always trying to shoehorn like sexually inappropriate comments into my streams, but I'm sure you'll explain now. Penis measuring contest. Yes, it's a subscriber measuring contest between the three of us, and I'm losing at the moment. So cool. Gideon, start doing your live stream shirtless and wearing sunnies. That'll get you more YouTube subscriptions. It'll definitely up my subscriber base, perhaps amongst a certain demographic, and it won't be women, because I'm sure you guys don't want to see this. I might actually lose people. You'll have to bring your welding helmets for your archives, guys and girls, if I do that. So I might just spare you that one. My thought on the Cape Exit campaign, it's finally gaining mainstream. I think Cape Exit is getting that mainstream acceptance now that it never really had, in the sense that the legitimacy of secession, of independence, of greater autonomy, all that stuff people are beginning to understand. And I suppose, if a whole bunch of surfers and people jogging and doing yoga get bullied by the centralized security forces, it tends to, leave a sour taste in your mouth and start making you think about, maybe these secessionists aren't as nuts as I thought they were. Maybe they got a point, and you start investigating their arguments a bit. And I'm glad to see it's getting traction. I would like to see it happen, but up until that, whether or not it's a possibility depends on whether or not it's going to get critical mass. So I would love to put my weight behind it. I kind of have to a degree. And where the Western Cape goes, I think the rest of the country should follow and do their own thing. Sure, the US government's argument is that these big tech companies have been granted official utility status with immunity for what is published on their platforms. And this is the whole thing, right? They've got immunity technically, but they still censor. So if you've got immunity, why are you censoring? Like the entire purpose of a private company censoring stuff is because they're afraid of repercussions for what's said on their platform. And there's already like deep web social media stuff being built. The problem with them is, and that's complete freedom of speech. The problem with it, it's inaccessible to the average person. You need to be a bit tech savvy to get into these platforms, because moderation there is quite literally impossible. It's a blockchain based social media feed. So everything that's published exists forever. And it's very, very difficult, if not impossible, to moderate or delete commentary that's published on these social media feeds. So the best way to avoid any form of liability is to have something like that the entire concept is this exists, it cannot be moderated, no one can stop the signal, and whatever is said will stay up forever. And that's exactly what how Twitter should have run their show, but instead they try to solve the sensibilities of like sensitive people and governments and whatever, and it's just ridiculous. When measuring your Totterman has gone from inches to per 1,000 on YouTube, exactly, Ari. So please join my YouTube channel. Thank you. Just in the Sean, if they want to control the narrative, then they should be seen as private publishers without the public community. Exactly. You pay, you play. You can't have your cake and eat it unless you're Twitter. Brian is just in my comments with stuff like this all the time, and I love it. As is Andre. Sebastian, yes, censorship is the worst. Every time, this is the one thing about this. Every time I touch this comment section, it just scrolls to the bottom. And Beth, Gideon is vehemently against coroning. Absolutely. Coroning is just the 2020 version of whatever we called Stasi informants in East Germany. It's the exact same concept. Oh, the difference between a cockpit and a condom, Sebastian Funny told us you can only fit one prick into a condom. You had one chance to make this punchline work, Sebastian, and you dropped an E, and I had to fix it for you on the fly. But it's a funny fucking joke, and I'll remember that. Thank you. Conrad, hello. Thank you for tuning in. And it's always fun talking cuck with my audience. I love it. It's a lot more fun talking to you guys and a lot of other people. So yeah. I said what, Pilates and sex in the same sentence? Yes, Pilates, Pilates. I don't know how else to say it. Here we go. Graham's making a sensible comment. Like, there's almost no sensible comments on my stream, which I like. But here's one. I hope your lower shirts are short-sleeved and specifically designed not as undergarments. They will definitely not comply with the Patel regulations, so don't you even worry. I hope the Causa family will want their ass with their SNF. I think they're strong on their way to achieving exactly that. Thanks, ICE. The UN and WHO is an absolute gross organization. They are. They did fuck up their COVID-19 response. They cannot ever be trusted again. And they were shilling for China. They were in the pockets of the Chinese Communist Party from the start. They enabled the cover-up. They're a party to the problem. They're accomplices. The world should get more Trump-like presidents and start getting a Trump-like president to follow him after his next term. Well, the thing is, he's pretty much got it in the bag, in my limited opinion, in November. The Dems don't have a candidate. They just don't. There's no way Joe Biden is going to make it. I hope the Libertarian Party builds on what their previous success was with Gary Johnson, and that they do a bit better. But my just to talk about them quickly for a moment, the Libertarian Party wants to be taken seriously, but they keep having candidates like Vermin Supreme, who looks like a homeless man who quite literally wears a boot on his head. And his whole point is to make fun of the political establishment. Now, the cool thing is, yeah, make fun of the political establishment, but you're running as a presidential candidate or potential presidential candidate, so you're in the game. You can't make fun of the game when you're in the game. So either you're in it to win it, or you must stop wasting everybody's time and just become anarchists who don't care. But at least the Libertarian Party seems to have started to take shit seriously to a degree, but then they need to take stuff seriously. Otherwise, they're just another political sideshow, and it's only Republicans versus Democrats forever, and people must stop complaining about it and accept that that's the choice. That's just the way it is, because no one cares about Libertarians because they're a joke. And they shouldn't be a joke. They've got really good ideas. They've got really good campaign material. The whole individual freedom angle is super underrated and not championed remotely enough. But if they want to be taken seriously and stop being referred to as lolbatarians, then take it seriously, for Pete's sake. But I mean, that's the Americans for you. Like, do they take anything seriously? Uke of Dork. I don't vote for politicians. It only encourages them. Mark Twain. It's not voting for politicians. Better than anarchist punks idea with stages like down tools, but nothing. Crash the economy. Exactly. Spice, first time watching a channel, enjoying it. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Spice, for being here. I really appreciate it. This is literally, there is no script to this. I'm quite literally just talking nonsense and responding to commentary, and do this for about half an hour to 50 minutes to an hour, because I haven't actually checked in with my audience in a long time. Hello, Zaire. Where will will there be bags of Richards available? Branded ones or unbranded ones, and must be made in China or locally manufactured, Richards. Ek het altyd gedink die beste ding in die Kaap is die pad terug Joburg toe. Spoken like a true Gauttenger, Andre. Sebastian, I'm not a fan of secession, but I prefer federalization and returning decision-making power to communities. I agree with you. And the city of Cape Town is not innocent in just riding roughshod over people's rights with stupid shit that they propose. And then the DA, when you take them on about it, they go, oh, yeah, it's not ideal. We'll investigate how this got. It's like, no, guys, stop giving us tyrannical legislation, even if it's municipal level. Stop being dicks. Just wake up and smell the coffee. Thank you. Die Kaapenaars waai daarom vir jou voordat hulle in jou vas. Ja, exactly. Hello, Jacques. Welkom. It's always good to see Jacques here. Next week, I'll show you what Jacques made me. He doesn't manufacture these things anymore, but maybe, if we make enough noise and if there's enough interest, maybe he'll make a few more. But it all depends. I can't convince the man. If you want what Jacques made me, you're going to have to convince him yourself. Devil's advocate. But they lost immunity in the EU, and outrage left mobilized very well via social media to punish them for not towing the correct narrative. That is not a bad take, actually, and there might be quite a bit of sensibility in this. Is talking about Twitter, by the way. So, look, are they the good guys? Are they the bad guys? What do you think? Having been on the receiving end of Twitter censorship myself, I don't really see them as the good guys. I understand that they're trying to protect themselves from being taken to task and from having like the European Union and politicians gun for them, but they're going to get politicians gunning for them anyway. At some point, as a corporate, you also have to grow a spine and say, fuck the politicians. I do what I want. And if you want to come after me, I'll get my lawyers to meet your lawyers and we'll make it a huge public punch up. And I've got all your dirty laundry that we'll string out. You need to go head to head with people who try to take you out. You can't appease politicians and you can't appease governments. You need to stop doing stuff like that. I think that's the major problem, is there's too much appeasement in the world and there's not enough standing on principles, because standing on principles is expensive and it's stressful and it has consequences. Steve, are we going to have a Pirates range station? You know what? Yeah. As soon as the shooting range is open, I'll say, if you really want to hang out with me, if you are that masochistic and you want to hang out with me for 1 or 2 hours, this is where I'm going to be. I'll be shooting stuff. Come shoot stuff with me if you want. We can have fun. I think I'll do something like that if if there are going to be even if there aren't any takers, I'm still going to have fun by myself shooting stuff. So it's a very low buy-in for me. Can we do open toe pair of shoes and panties? You know what? Might as well start my range of underwear as well. Like Piratas will be the new Calvin Klein. Shaal Boot, ek het vanoggend my hare laat sny by 'n swart mark haarkapper. Kan nie sê waar nie. Die Gestapo are watching. Well, you know what? I know so many people that have had black market haircuts the past 3 weeks. They're going to have to arrest the entire bloody country for getting illegal haircuts. How fucking stupid is that? I would love to see what a judge or magistrate would say to you. Like, what are you accused of? So it's like, I'm accused of getting a haircut. I mean, seriously? Like, this is the world we live in. The picture you shared yesterday with those guys in America protecting their stores from thugs with their farms is might be the most powerful picture of 2020. I did dig that picture. When I saw it, I was like, this thing I gotta share because it was epic. And it just cut through the bullshit of racial division. It's like here are white property owners, here are black property owners. Both parties have AR-15s. They're standing shoulder to shoulder, protecting what they have against rioters. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful picture. It's awesome. It is the dream we all have, isn't it? I think Shaul just gave us the hottest take on the American election campaign right now. Okay, the shirts must be South African man sizes. Don't worry. The guy who's in charge of the manufacturing understands this very, very well, and he supplies the South African market. So he knows exactly how the sizing works. He's familiar with our body shape and sizes in this country. So yeah, don't worry. I'll make sure that what shall we say, the customer is satisfied. And yeah. And to be honest, I want to be proud of my shirts. I want them to be something people want to buy and wear because I sure as heck want to. I think the DT grabbed the Libertarian vote. I think so too. I think when Vermin Supreme was a candidate, they were like, okay, screw this. We'll vote for Orange Man bad instead. The UN is just international socialism. Those who don't pay membership fees will gang up on the few countries who do. Exactly. I mean, look at who they have on their, as representatives for human rights and on the Security Council and all this bullshit. I mean, like, they don't. It's a sham. It's a pantomime. It's the biggest scam ever perpetrated on a global scale as United Nations, in my opinion. If you don't have a boot on your head, or you even try to get my vote. Anyone wants to go to the beach with Brian, contact him. He wants to organize some socially distanced walks on his strand. Problem is, most candidates can be bought. Trump can't. He already had money prior to running for president, and I think people hate him for this. They absolutely hate him. BLF is a joke and still got more votes from the SVP. Ow, that hurts, Sebastian. Jeez, like it, bro. Depending upon where you want to go, Jacques, sure, bring them. Like all the time. Vermin Supreme, I'll take away your guns and give you better. Okay, fine. I trod on you guys. I'm sorry I upset you by speaking ill of your guy. Yeah, we can make para masks and we can make para bras and open shoes and t-shirts and go surfing. And just don't burn my para bras. I'll make sure they're expensive that you won't burn my bras like a proper feminist. What's this? Have you seen how... Wait, what did Laurie write me? Have you seen how stupid it looks when a woman has to hold it tits when she runs? Okay, moving on swiftly. Gideon, Jesus, Brian. If I come on your live stream, do I have to be sober? No, you can be completely wasted. But this is now, I presume that CUM of yours is if I have my live stream on Pornhub, which will probably have to organize now because that's what everyone wants. And what the audience wants, it gets. I honestly feel like I'm your pet monkey that's just dancing in a cage, and you're all just screaming at me from the sidebar going, dance for me, monkey boy, dance. Jack Dorsey, like Zuckbot, is riding a dragon, and I'm sure they never foresaw a large... Sorry, that was actually a very good comment. Cutting my own hair, will I be arrested? Depends if you charge yourself, Jacques. Did you pay yourself for giving yourself your haircut? Because then that would be a transaction and it would be illegal. And did you Did you remember to keep a minimum distance of 2 meters from yourself while doing it? Welcome to South Africa 2020. Where are they going to be selling? Oh, okay, right. So they will be selling. They'll be selling directly through. So how it works? Okay, let me just explain this quickly. The company who manufactures the shirts sell directly to the public. So they handle the sales, the distribution, everything. There's zero capital outlay. So when the shirts make a profit, they just pay me the portion of the profit. So I will link to the specific portal where you can buy them when that happens, and then we take it from there. But I'll make sure to explain it clearly how everything works when it's set up and when it's happening. So don't worry, we'll make sure this works. And if there are any unhappiness, then take it up with me and I'll make sure to go kick ass and chew bubble gum. That didn't make any sense and I just butchered that line. But anyway, I'll go kick ass because I ran out of bubble gum and make sure that your shirts are sorted out for you. So yeah. Jamie Foxx defends Jimmy Fallon after it resurfaced. The clip showed. I saw that. And amazingly enough, it's like something that would have outraged the Twitter mob, people are actually reacting sensibly to, for a change. I agree exactly with the George put over there. And okay, I think, Steve, did I answer your question? What time is it now? That was like 3 minutes ago. I hope I answered your question for you. I'm so far behind the questions, and now everyone is just getting on the dog pile on me, which is fine. I can dance. We can dance if you want to. We can leave your friends behind, Brian, because if friends don't dance, what? No, if your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, they're no friends of mine. So how's that? Did you screw all of you? The way it's going now, I might just have to move to Pornhub and sell. I'll just make a Pornhub sponsored Paratas t-shirt. How's that? Okay, guys. So where do we order the t-shirts? A link on your channel. I will put all the links on the Facebook. I'll do it on the Facebook page, on Reddit, on the YouTube channel. I'll do a video explaining it when the time comes. It's the same with the mugs. So just to wrap up, I'm gonna go practice some dry firing now. Not that kind, the real kind of dry firing. The shirts I'll keep you posted about, and you can get it through. I'll make sure that the platform's there. We're going to do baseball caps eventually. I'm going to talk to you about mugs. Does anyone want mugs? The remaining 37 of you watching, let me know if you would like a mug or not. The Paratas theme mug. Like, I was thinking charcoal color on the outside with the logo and orange on the inside. But yeah, let me know if you'd like a mug like that. I would like to make myself one like that, but I don't know if you want one. So let me know if you'd like a mug. Baseball caps I'd like to do, and t-shirts are still going to be a thing. But because it's winter, maybe hoodies would be better. I don't know. I'm still doing market research on that. Oh, and coffee. We're doing coffee. So I'm being a complete capitalist whore at the moment, and I'm just selling my soul to corporate SA. Well, I'm selling my soul to myself. So at least all the proceeds will come to the channel and yeah, and do the good stuff. So okay, everyone. Ooh, goodness. Okay, here's a whole thing that all your comments popped up at once. So let me I'll post a link to Twitter too, I promise. Guy gets fucked by the entire audience. So that'll be my first Pornhub show. The Pornhub shirt will have to be filled with press buttons for expert access. Exactly. That's not a nice thing to say, Laurie. Yeah, I could probably do boonies. If you guys wanted boonies, travel mugs, cool. Yes, I did say that on my own live stream. My mug is ugly enough. Yeah, but do you want another one? Okay, mugs, mug shots on mugs, while the world watches, mugs, bite down hard on the Glock, Gietens going and dry. Okay, cool. That and what? Gautengers will be excluded from this range day with Gideon event. No, I'll travel, guys. You know what? I'll come up and we can just do something fun in Gauteng as well. But then you're going to have to do something that you don't want to do, and it's borrow me your guns. Ooh, can you trust me with your guns? That's the question. Under your supervision. Travel mug. Okay. Maybe I'll explore that as well. Boonies are a hat. It's like a floppy bush hat type thing, but not the traditional one that we're used to. So be a whore. We'll support you. Thanks, guys. And on that bombshell, it was lekker spending my Saturday morning just talking crap to you. Yeah, I did see the buffs. So I'll try and get the merchandising done responsibly, nicely, that it's stuff that you'd actually like, because it's stuff that I want, that I'd like myself, and I'm a magpie. So but thank you for spending time here talking nonsense to me. I'll post the link to myself and Roman and Germ. We're going to be talking nonsense tomorrow at 10 or 11 in the morning, and it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. So come spend your Sunday morning with us and give us shit in the comments. Please don't hold back. It's always fun. And thank you for being a really cool audience and always wanting to hang out with me. So adios, amigos. See you tomorrow, and keep an eye on the page for all the stuff, and I'll make sure to keep you in the loop about the merchandise in